ways that we tried responding to that at the start of our marriage was we just dedicated one of the rooms of our apartment to being prayer. Right? So we started streaming the International House of Prayer. They have 24/7 prayer and worship. So we just live streamed it on a laptop in there. And shortly after we set it up, we felt God was telling us to tithe 10% of our time during the week. We were praying for breakthrough with our finances. It felt like he was saying, tithe 10% of your week. Spend time with me in the holy place. So we took, we started factoring out like sleep and stuff like that and got to, all right, 24 hours in 1 week. So separately, we spent 24 hours in the prayer room just sitting, listening, occasionally speaking, talking to God. And it was really weird. Like I remember like maybe the first day, the first like couple hours, like first couple hour blocks I did, it was like I did a bunch of talking, but after that I felt like I literally didn't feel capable of praying. I just sat there. It was the craziest thing, but I promise you, our marriage took a radically different and healthy turn as a result of setting up a holy place.
That's awesome.
To spend time with God. Right? That was one way, one example of what responding to a hunger and thirst for righteousness can look like. And so this beatitude is where I really want us to kind of hone in on, or to kind of dwell on tonight as we start to transition back into the worship. Is because when God cleans us, that prepares us to step into intimacy with Him. And the question that I think that God is asking us as a community, as we're more frequently coming to that place, right? Standing outside of the holy place, allowing God to wash us with the Word, and when we're giving sacrifices and praise and worship to Him. He's asking, do you want to know me? Do you want to come in and spend time in intimacy knowing me? Because all of us who've given our lives to Jesus are in. We've had a small degree of encounter with God, but there is so much more. Whatever we've experienced before is tiny in comparison with the full weight of His glory which is ahead of us. I think about it, like the full weight of His glory, which is going to forever illuminate our lives on the other side of when we say glory, right? He desires for us to come into the holy place with Him. Actually, go ahead and play it. Cool. As I was writing this, I could not escape. There's this video of clips from a sermon by a guy named Hezekiah Walker, and they took out specifically how he repeatedly kind of starts talking about Jesus, like how Jesus is King. And I just couldn't get away from it, because he just keeps asking, do you know Him? Like, do you know Him? And I remember kind of the first couple times, like, yeah, I mean, I'm pursuing, like, knowing God as like, my banner. Like, I even went so far as to get a tattoo on my arm. Like, God as a banner of victory over my life. Like, recognizing that there are different ways that we want to get to know Him, but then just being really struck by, oh, He's helping me get to know me. Like, that's the way that He sees me, right? But I want to know Him. And so, like, there's something in that. And so, for some of us, as we begin to think about, like, what does response look like? What is responding to Jesus saying, "Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they will be filled"? How do I respond to that? Right? It might mean go home, dedicate a holy place in your home. But remember, He wants more than just the holy place in our homes. He wants a holy place in our hearts, where we can spend time with Him. And He knows you. He knows all of us. Do you want to know Him? Jesus said and promised, "Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they will be filled." We got the video, guys? All right. So I guess I'll pray is another way of giving Him some time. God, we're really grateful for Your promise. You wouldn't tell us about those who hunger and thirst for righteousness if it was impossible to hunger and thirst for You. If it was something that we could never step into, if it was something that was never going to happen. hungering for you, Jesus, right? Your bread, your body being bread, your blood being wine, like that there was something in your sacrifice. Right? We want more of you on so many levels, and in different ways, God. And so we just ask for a renewed hunger, a renewed thirst for you tonight. Because we want you to satisfy us. We want you to be the sole source of satisfaction in our lives. We want you to be chief. We want you to be our king. So we just invite you here, Holy Spirit, and ask that you fill us.
Yeah.
In Jesus' name. Amen.
The Bible says, my king is the king of the Jews. He's the king of Israel. He's the king of righteousness. He's the king of the ages. He's the king of heaven. He's the king of glory. He's the king of kings. And he's the Lord of lords. That's my king. I wonder, do you know him? My king is a sovereign king. No means of measure can define his limitless love. He's enduringly strong. He's entirely sincere. He's eternally steadfast. He's immortally graceful. He's imperially powerful. He's impartially merciful. Do you know him? He's the greatest phenomenon that has ever crossed the horizon of this world. He's God's Son. He's a sinner's Savior. He's the centerpiece of civilization. He's unparalleled. He's unprecedented. He is the loftiest idea in literature. He's the highest personality in philosophy. He's the fundamental doctrine of theology. He's the only one qualified to be an all-sufficient Savior. I wonder if you know him today. He supplies strength for the weak. He's available for the tempted and the tried. He sympathizes and he saves. He strengthens and sustains. He guards and he guides. He heals the sick. He cleanses the lepers. He forgives sinners. He discharges debtors. He delivers the captives. He defends the feeble. He blesses the young. He serves the unfortunate. He regards the aged. He rewards the diligent. And he purifies the weak. I wonder if you know him. He's the key to knowledge. He's the wellspring of wisdom. He's the doorway of deliverance. He's the pathway of peace. He's the roadway of righteousness. He's the highway of holiness. He's the gateway of glory. Do you know him? Well, his light is matchless. His goodness is limitless. His mercy is everlasting. His love never changes. His word is enough. His grace is sufficient. His reign is righteous. And his yoke is easy. And his burden is light. I wish I could describe him to you. He's indescribable. He's incomprehensible. He's invincible. He's irresistible. Well, you can't get him out of your mind. You can't get him off of your head. You can't outlive him, and you can't live without him. Well, the Pharisees couldn't stand it. When they found out they couldn't stop him. Pilate couldn't find any fault in him. Herod couldn't kill him. Death couldn't handle him. And the grave couldn't hold him.
Oh, Lord, you're so good. We thank you, God. We thank you, God. We thank you, God. We thank you, God. Jesus, you're so good. Lord, let anything holding us back just wash away. Let it wash away, Lord. Let it wash away. I want to share a bit of a story that coincides with Ben's teaching. And